Hey, my dear brothers and sisters and others of Are You Hungry? I wanted to record a little brief video um, just as I get things in order in my life, and this is more thinking into the future. And I just wanted to give a loving note to you guys. Um, you never know how life goes and stuff, and I specifically want all of you to know that I am thinking of you. I have been thinking of you guys and gals and others, but you guys are all in my heart, and the often the invisible people are the ones no one really thinks about, but I know I've said it to you throughout the years, and I've shown it through my actions every week consistently throughout the years. But even in these moments, I want you to know that I'm recording this special message for you guys and gals and others, my homeless brothers and sisters and others. Um, and I want to clarify that the term, there's so many games that, I mean, we've seen this ourselves on the streets. Like, uh, everyone uses different terminology as unhoused and all this stuff. And then, week after week after week after week, we've been feeding together and eating and everything together for almost a decade. And we've seen so many promising things come, and then nothing. Nothing happens ever. But they play games. They play games with the words. They play games with the terminology. And then we end up finding out that all of a sudden the statistics suddenly change and the statistics start to look better and millions upon millions of dollars goes missing. But none of that matters when it comes to us, because on the street level, we see the reality. And through that reality, I want you to know that I really do love you guys. And I want you to know that there are others out there that care for you deeply. And I want you to all care for each other. Take care of each other the way how you've been taking care of each other throughout the years. When we run out of food or money or any reason, you guys, like, there were so many times we ran out of food, and then some of you would share your own food with others. So please keep that up. You must share with each other, even if it's simple words of kindness. Just because we're invisible, and many people may consider you to be invisible, it doesn't mean you can't see. You see. You see with your soul. We see. You know, you must love each other. And the only way to love each other is to know each other. It's people can use words. We've seen this so much throughout the years. I love you, you love me, blah blah, and they say all this stuff, but they don't even mean what they say. Their mouth says what their heart does not align with. But the beauty of us is that we see through the nonsense, because actions speak louder than words. Those that really mean what they say, their actions will align. And that is also the key element of knowing one another. You can only love truly and deeply when you see each other and understand each other. And instead of focusing on differences, as you've seen how we've led by example throughout the years, we don't focus on labels, we don't focus on anything like that, because all we do is see soul to soul. That's what helped us bind over the years. And that's why I've grown to love you guys. Throughout the years, I'll give a special shout out to a few of you because it's too long to list. I mean, at this point, I've connected with several thousands of you over the years, because so many people cycle in and out of the city and stuff. But in particular, DJ, Mr. Edwards, Lee, Augustus, uh, Timothy. Thank you for that award years ago. I was very grateful for it, especially Carl. Also, by the way, when I was in the hospital, you guys all pitched in the money to get me that Super Mario card. Um, that memory in itself, I'll never forget, because I was in the ER and the doctors came in panicked. Oh my God, there's an army of homeless people outside, and they were just totally panicked. And I was like, what the hell's all the commotion going on outside? And then Carl, you came in and you had a card and you just started crying, and you said that, you guys said that you love me and I love you too. And it was amazing with the card, because some of you can't read or write, but you still signed your name on the card. And I'll never forget that day, actually. I I was fighting with the doctor in the emergency room to let me out so I can make it for Are You Hungry? And he wouldn't let me out. So another student dropped off the food late, very late actually. And many of you were like, "Where's Bilal?" And the student told you guys what hospital I was at. And I mean, nobody thought you guys were listening, and then you were, and you even walked all the way to the hospital and picked up a card from Walgreens on the way. You know, um, and these are the moments of true humanity that no one sees. No one sees what the beauty of the human spirit at times. We are inundated with all this noise and negativity and chaos. And even if I'm not here anymore in this world, please, 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 do not be sad. Celebrate the good moments that we had and celebrate each other and know that you are loved. Even if the whole world doesn't look at you, know that the few people that do love you look at you and see you and hear you. You know, the craziness of how the world is just moving at this insane pace and doing this incredibly shallow analysis of what it thinks it's doing right versus slowing down and truly forging that deeper human connection. You know, it's, I mean, it's not something that we need to waste too much time about, but other than that, it's just, we have to remain rock solid with each other. You guys, gals, and others must continue to take care of each other. Be the voice of the voiceless. Talk to each other. Communicate well. Please, any minor squabbles and differences, let it go. Focus on what is important. Focus on each other. And just appreciate the beautiful moments of our world and our life. There are times when things are going to be challenging. I mean, for God's sake, you guys of all people in this world know how difficult life can be. I mean, no one needs to tell you that. But then, conversely, we see the silver lining in all of it. The beauty, the true essence of what can be. I hope and pray genuinely for all of you to have tremendous success in this world and to be in better circumstances. Frankly, at this point in my life, I would have hoped that we would have come a little farther. I know that people are very happy and proud of the fact that we've been feeding every week for a decade or more, but it just baffles my mind because we have more than enough food in this world. There's the problem is access, and the amount of food that gets actively wasted instead of being shared. Again, mind-boggling. There's even certain laws that have been adjusted so it can be donated, but still so much waste that we have. Because I know so many people, like, we had deep conversations about this years ago where, like, oh yeah, people would say if only we had enough food to feed the world. We do. We have more than enough food. The problem is wastage and then access. But regardless of whatever else everyone else is doing, even when you have your last piece of bread, divide it up amongst each other. We can't expect a handout from anyone else. We cannot expect anything to come from other sources or whatever it is. So what you have with you, analyze the resources available to you and share it. I mean, even now I'm thinking about how many of you would be watching this potentially on YouTube in the library, utilizing your free time, your 1 to 2 hours. And hopefully I'll try to keep this a little shorter so you can go watch some YouTube or watch some movies or TV shows or music videos. I mean, so many of you are so inherently brilliant. I am honored and amazed to know you throughout the years. I mean, I remember one of you who gave me John, who gave me the mixtape that he made himself and gave me the CD, and I just got my new Mazda at the time. And he's like, bro, I want you to listen to this. And I'm like, I will. And then next week for Are You Hungry, I show up, I'm listening to it, I have the CD playing in my car, and he's shocked. He said, bro, you listen to it. I said, of course. Why would I say what I wouldn't do? I said, and then he was like, bro, you don't know how many people say things and they never intend to do it. So, and then I was bumping it. It was good. Had a dope rhythm. I loved it, and his bars were good. He was flowing, you know. But the unfortunate thing is that such talent goes unrecognized. No one cares to listen, and you can't entirely fault everyone because there's too much noise in the world. And as there's so much noise, the ones that shout the most get the most attention. So those of you that are reasonable are getting overlooked. But do not overlook each other. I hope to be with you guys for many, 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 many years after this. And I hope to see you guys flourish and things to improve. But in the off chance that I am not, please take this message and love each other. And know that no matter what goes on in the world, there are so many people aside from myself, but not just me. We are thinking of you. I'm thinking of you. And I love you guys. And I'm sending that love even into the future, wherever it may be. You guys, and gals, and others. And I say that so much because it's very important, because many of you have shared with me how you choose to be called. And I always wish to honor that, because it's a very simple thing on my part, just to acknowledge you and acknowledge your existence instead of criticize and condemn. It's not what we do. We try to genuinely love. I may remember almost 9 years ago, at this point, there was a young man. We gave him a tuna sandwich. And as we gave him the tuna sandwich, it was freezing outside. He asked me, can you sit with me and eat with me? And he didn't know, but I had to get back to university to be in the lab for our experiments and our cancer research. But I told him, okay, yeah. So we sat there quietly, and he was eating, I was eating. I also had a tuna sandwich. So I had some cookies so I gave him some of the cookies, and I had some more cookies for myself, and I gave him more of that. And as we sat there quietly, he started crying. And he said, "You won't believe this." He said, "There's so many different religious groups that come out here to feed us, but they throw the food at us because they're afraid of coming close to us." He said something as simple as a human connection. He said the fact that you are willing to sit here and just eat with me. He said that's more meaningful and more fulfilling than the food itself. And that in itself was a mind-blowing moment for me, because we sometimes take the simple things for granted. The things that we consider to be meaningless, that don't really seem to have a tangible impact, but it is so deeply meaning for others. And we must appreciate that together. Again, I don't want to eat up all your YouTube time because I know that you guys get limited. And also, library administrators, if they are watching this video, if you can make an exemption or extend their time a little bit, because I just wanted to share my love for them, for all of you. And it's been an honor to know you guys throughout the years. It's been an honor to love you guys throughout the years. It has been an honor to share the same space, planet, and universe with all of you. And no matter what happens, keep sharing love and hope with yourselves, with each other. You know, the hardest thing sometimes in this world is to forgive ourselves. I've spoken to thousands of you, and eventually a pattern emerges, and one of the patterns was that you guys are overly harsh on yourselves. So harsh that when others have forgiven you already, you can't forgive yourself. So please, if you have made the effort and you have moved past that difficult point in your life where you are not repeating the same mistake over and over and over again, and you have truly grown into a better person, please forgive yourself and love yourself and share that love with others. To love each other is to also love oneself. I think over time, the reason why people are sometimes so mean to you guys and harsh, it's almost like looking in the mirror. And when you look in the mirror, sometimes you don't like what you see. And it terrifies people because they realize this is what can be if we fall, or we slip, or we miss a few payments or something, because everybody is just so close to the edge. Poverty is right around the corner for most people. Most people don't have savings. And it terrifies people, I think. So their overly harsh reaction to you sometimes is probably a misguided fear of themselves, of slipping and getting into a bad situation. So my humble request to all of you is to be more patient with others, to be patient with them, especially those that are very unkind to you. Share patience and kindness with them. Let them understand that love and hope exists, and you are that beacon and hope, and it will become viral in a good way and emanate throughout all of existence, and you guys can help be that spark. And like I said, for the spark to happen amongst the invisible people, eventually it cannot be ignored after a period of time. And the other advantage of being the invisible people is no one's really going to overly pay attention until it hits a critical mass. Because at that point, they were like, oh, hold on, what's happening? Anyway, I love you guys, and I hope you're all doing well. And any of you guys who have left the state and wherever you move to, please do the same, and just know that you are loved And there are many, many, many other people out there in this world that love you and that will care for you and care for each other. Okay? And you guys are awesome. Well, I think awesome is an understatement, but when you are sharing love and kindness into the universe and world around us, you are beyond awesome. As long as you are not creating chaos. And if you are creating chaos, please stop. It does not help. It really doesn't. So let's rein that in and then convert all that energy into something tremendously positive. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it throughout the years. Week after week, I've seen so many of you evolve, change, and grow into beautiful, beautiful people. I remember when Chief Lee Vance in Jackson, when he told me there was a 3% drop in the area that we were feeding of crime. I didn't even understand how significant that was because I was like 3%. What the hell what difference does that make? And then you guys were telling me, they were like, what's the point of stealing when we have a guaranteed meal each week? And then also when you guys shared to me some of the internal details, like if you steal a laptop, you're only getting like $10 for it, and you were like, what is the point? I didn't realize that the way how these things circulate and how cheap some of the drugs were too, because like when you shared with me it was cheaper than water, and I'm like, whoa, that's really different. What's going on there? But again, highlighting, most people will inherently do the right thing when granted the opportunity. And you guys have shown that throughout the years. You have shown kindness and love in tremendous ways. So please keep growing, keep doing it. And then hopefully this will become like a huge universal phenomenon where everyone is super, super chill and super good and doing super awesome. All right, guys, gals, and others. Bilal signing off and sending you love. Bye.